Hey everyone, it's Ron Johnson, and this is the Ron Johnson Show on Locked On Sports Minnesota. Today's show, we're going to talk about the Netflix special, The Quarterback. I got some thoughts here. I've been seeing a lot of tweets. I've been seeing a lot of comments. Some from hometown fans talking about Kirk Cousins stole the show. Patrick Mahomes is annoying. Marcus Mariota was boring. Two of those things you can say are right, but one of them, didn't sit well with me. But we'll talk about that next on the Ron Johnson Show.
Locked On Sports Minnesota Podcasts. It's endless Minnesota Vikings talk with the diverse voices of your local experts. Now the Ron Johnson Show. On the field, in the broadcast booth, Ron Johnson is Minnesota sports. He's played with them, hung out with them, and grown up with all the big names in Minnesota sports. They're hanging out with Ron Johnson. It's the Ron Johnson Show on the Locked On Sports Minnesota podcast. And it starts now.
This is the Ron Johnson Show on Locked On Sports Minnesota. It's a beautiful Monday. Birds are chirping, winds blowing, sun is peaking. It's a great day to be in the sports world, and we're going to talk about the Netflix special. I finally had a chance to watch it. I don't understand how people can binge watch stuff right away. Maybe their kids are old enough they could do. I don't have time right now to even do it, but finally, we had a tournament in on a Saturday. So me and my wife got a chance to sit down and kind of binge watch a little bit. We were folding clothes and doing other stuff, making dinner, but we got a chance to watch the Netflix special. I had to do it. I consider it a work thing because I got to talk about Kirk Cousins, and we're going to talk about the Netflix show as I bring my producer to the show, Sam Action. But before I do that, remember, people, this episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Locked On. Just visit FanDuel.com/Locked On to get started today. And it's going to make every moment more. Like I told you guys, don't forget, I did that no sweat first bet. I bet on the Nuggets to beat the Lakers 5.5, and it paid off. So I'm hooked. It's fun. It's fast. It makes everything a little bit more exciting. So make sure you guys check out FanDuel.com/Locked On to get started. Well, as I bring my producer to the show, Sam Ekstrom. Sam, got a chance to finally watch Netflix, and there were some options out there. I could have watched Extraction 2 with Thor. I've been meaning to watch that. Maybe that's this coming weekend because we have NAFA Nationals, 14U Nationals for my daughter, which is the high school Nationals, the 8th or whatever, 9th and 10th grade Nationals, 8th, 9th, and 10th, I don't know. But the 8th, 9th, and 10th grade Nationals. So she's a 7th grader, but she's, they're going to play up to 14U. So it should be fun for a 12-year-old to do it. But that's not this weekend. So this weekend, we're free. So I'm looking forward to this weekend, maybe jumping to some more Netflix. But this week's Netflix, I finally got a chance to watch Quarterback. I started a little bit of it every time my wife went to bed, and then she caught glimpses of it, and then she started watching. What caught her eye was Kirk Cousins talking about his faith. He talked about God, how his faith was important to him, how he wanted to put his best foot forward. And my wife, we're both Christians, but she loves to hear those sports stories when God's brought up, and so that drew her to it to hear. And then Marcus Mariota as well is a believer. And so you hear Marcus Mariota bring it up. And so that was another one for us. So it was kind of like, oh man, let me keep watching and see what happens. And so we're playing them just to go. We're playing it. We're not dialed in super hard. But here's where I go with this, Sam. I saw some comments from people, one of which was Ben Lieber. Ben Lieber works for the Vikings. Ben Lieber sat down with Kirk and Julie Cousins and interviewed them for this special. So of course, Sam, you know this, man. Every time we have people on the show, we feel a little bit more connected to that person. We want that person to win. We want to be in that person's corner. That's what Kirk Cousins is right now for Ben Lieber. Ben Lieber's in Kirk Cousins' corner because of the interview. But he says Kirk Cousins stole the show. Oh, no, never mind. So it was the first tweet 6 days ago. So I'm wrong. I'm sorry, Ben Lieber. I apologize. It's not even Tuesday, and I'm already having to have a testimony to apologize to somebody. But on this Mission Monday, my mission is we're gonna break down Kirk Cousins in this. So I got to apologize to Ben Lieber already. Or yeah, I'm gonna leave it in the show. I was gonna say, should we go start over again? I'm gonna leave it in the show. He said, this is when he said it. Kirk Cousins will be the star of this show. But he said this when they first announced it was coming, like the day of it, like 6 days before it aired.
Okay.
So that's where he was wrong. He is not going to be the star of the show. It was definitely Patrick Mahomes. And again, I think the way Peyton Manning did this, and it's because it's cool. It's just raw footage. This is just unedited footage they're just capturing. They're going to create something. If Kirk Cousins made it to a Super Bowl, if he beats the Giants, if he goes to the NFC Championships to play the Eagles, we might have a different storyline for Kirk Cousins. You know what I mean? Like finally gets the big show, but he didn't. Patrick Mahomes, I mean, and think about this. That was like luck. For them to get Patrick Mahomes and he makes it to a Super Bowl, like that was pure luck. And to win it, like I hope next season is like Jalen Hurts. Like if you pick 3, who would you pick? I would pick Jalen Hurts for 1. I would pick Aaron Rodgers with the Jets for 2. I don't know who my third
as
one
as if Hard Knocks isn't enough. Yeah. Send Netflix at him too.
Hey,
so many
Netflix,
cameras.
this is the thing. Some shows like the Madden curse, you make the Madden cover, it's not going to go well for you. The Hard Knocks curse, you're on Hard Knocks, you're not going to win a Super Bowl. Netflix can say, look, if you come on our show with Peyton Manning, 1 in 3 chances you're going to be in the Super Bowl and win it. So, I mean, Joe Burrow, easy. Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, and Aaron Rodgers. You got 2 future stars, and then you got a guy out the door. Because you got to have 3 like different storylines. You got to have 3 superstars, because then it's just like we're just watching superstardom. You got to have kind of, or maybe a rookie. Maybe
I would love one rookie. Yeah,
Anthony Richardson or C.J. Stroud, or one of those guys, and then like a Jalen Hurts or Joe Burrow, and then like an Aaron Rodgers, like an old dog, a new dog, and then an up and coming star. Like I would like that. I would like to see that. It's not bad. Marcus Mariota though, like the struggle. It was cool to hear like what happened, like, you know, because when they said Marcus Mariota's just gone, the knee injury, like that storyline, they played it up completely wrong. They could have said his knee is hurt, we're not going to start him, so he's going to have surgery to get his meniscus repaired. Like that would have been a way better storyline than Marcus Mariota isn't with the team right now. So yeah, but anyway, I got to apologize to Ben Lieber for that, but somebody else did tweet, and that wasn't Lieber. Somebody else tweeted too, because I'm not looking at just one tweet. And again, these are all Vikings fans, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. A lot of people were saying like, oh man, Kirk Cousins stole the show. Like, oh man. But here's where I go with mine. I learned a lot about Kirk Cousins. 1, Kirk Cousins knows he's plain Jane. Kirk Cousins, 2, is just like everybody else. He shops at, I don't even shop at Costco. I do for my kids though. My wife loves to get those sweatshirts, the Gopher sweatshirts and stuff for Costco. I'm not buying my clothes from Costco. But LL Bean, that's probably out of my, I don't even know what stuff costs in LL Bean, but that's not my type of clothing. But just watching Kirk Cousins talk about his clothing, and then when he does something, it becomes a thing if it's out of the norm. Like, I like that he owned up to that. Do you like that? Like, he's understanding that game and how important it was to his brand. He trademarked it, so he's also business savvy. He's not just a crazy clown. So I do like that about Kirk Cousins. And then some of the interceptions. I went on Vikings fan line and I defended Kirk on a lot of interceptions. A lot of people said, oh, you're just blah, blah. And even on our show, we talked about it. I talked about the interceptions of the Eagles game. I talked about the interceptions. I forgot the other game, the Colts game. Jalen Reagor, his fault. We finally see Kirk say it. The Eagles game, it was Justin Jefferson's fault. I said this all the time. Sometimes you have to understand the route combination and the quarterback's footwork. Kirk Cousins was on a big 3, and it was, I got to get rid of the ball now. It was a double post. First guy runs a skinny or a flat post to take the one safety out of it. Second guy runs either a skinny or a flat post across the second defender's face, which was Darius Slay, I think. Justin Jefferson kind of ran it like a deep post and tried to keep it high. You can't do that in the red zone. And Kirk Cousins even said it like, hey, man, like, and Justin Jefferson said, I didn't think I can get there. Doesn't matter, man. I'm throwing the ball. Like, get there. Like, go across his face. Like, you can't get behind him because we don't have enough green. Now, if you're in the open field, like on the -20 and you're going out, take it high because there was nobody back there. And that was up. Justin Jefferson did it perfect if it was in the open field because there was no back safety. The first safety was taken up by the first underneath over route, and the second defender, and because looks like it was quarters or cover 3, was Slay, and he was up because he was, I don't know, he was maybe robbing, he knew, I don't know what that, or what was red 2, so technically he doesn't have to go anywhere, which if we remember red 2, sorry Vikings fans, but that was when Cam Dantzler backed into the end zone versus staying on the goal line, and Mike Zimmer says if he stands on the goal line we win that game. I don't know if you remember that one, Sam. I think it was a Lions game, remember?
Dantzler
letting Amon-Ra St. Brown get in front of him.
Just run in front of him. Yep. And that's what Justin Jefferson was supposed to do to Darius Slay, but Darius Slay is one of the best to ever do it. And so he's like, I know what you're going to do. If I cut this off, You have to make a perfect pass over my head to the back of the end zone, and I still have maybe time to react to it. So we played it perfect. So in that instance, though, Justin Jefferson just has to save Kirk from an interception and just run into Darius Slay or cross his face and get in the way, because you're going to get hit. Even if you don't think you can get there. Like, run at him, and then get in front of him. And it's a double post. Kirk's throwing it on the big 3 or maybe quick 5. So it was good to see Justin or Kirk say that, like, hey, man, like, come on, man, what you doing? So some of those interceptions, man, weren't Kirk's fault, but we gave that Eagles game to Kirk. Like, you threw all these interceptions. You suck. Blah, blah. Avonte Maddox being underneath. The other one, the Bills one, even when he's like, I loved seeing that, the mic'd up of that. Like, he threw that interception to number 30 in the flat, and he's like, I thought it was the curl, and then it was too late by the time I turned, and he was just standing there. Like, it's good to hear that, because they're going to happen. Like, you have to make a quick decision in the minute of the span of what did they say? Like 0.9 seconds or something. So yeah, I don't know, but I learned a lot from Kirk. I'd say Patrick Mahomes. I will say Lieber's right on that. Like, it was a little cringy. The I'm like this and I do this, like, but at the same time, like, you don't know what it feels like to be in that moment and those emotions. So it's hard to control. And Mariota, he did disappear from the show. So Lieber was right in those 3 kind of like breakdowns. Kirk Cousins is a dog. He took a ton of hits that we didn't even know about. He was, like, he was grimacing and it was hurting and he was getting frustrated. So, and I like that Kevin O'Connell was his coach in that moment. Like, I don't know if Zimmer coaches him through that coach game like that. Like, Kevin O'Connell was like, look, when he's frustrated, I got to let him work it out for a minute and then I'll come back. There's no point in me trying to coach him up. I don't know if the last regime would have done that. They would have gotten in his face, like, get it together, blah, blah, whatever. We got to go do this. Like, they let Kirk work it out. Kirk worked it out. What happened second half? Patrick Peterson said it. We only needed 5 touchdowns. So that's what I got from the Netflix special. I don't know, Sam. What did you think?
Man, I enjoyed this show so much. I went in a little skeptical, wondering, are they really going to show me anything I haven't already heard or seen? And they did. They showed me so much stuff. The Buffalo footage, the Indy footage, and then the Giants playoff footage of Kirk was all terrific. It was fresh. It was new. It was raw. And I've seen it kind of put this way, and I agree with it. Mahomes, and this is more regular, like, obviously Mahomes had to grit through the injury in the playoffs, but regular season, Mahomes almost makes quarterback look effortless with his skill set, right? Like, he's talkative and he's active and he's so engaged and he can flip a switch at any moment. Kirk makes his success look like, you see how hard it is for him. Like, he has to work so hard to make up for the deficit that he has athletically. Like, Mahomes just kind of goes out there and reacts, and Kirk has to put so much in because he can't do that. He can't do what Mahomes can do. And he's kind of stressed out and he's working for every percentage and every inch. Just a very different approach to the position. But based on what you said, like, who was the star for trying to award a star? Mahomes is obviously the bigger personality. He's the Super Bowl champion. He is the technical winner. But I think Kirk did most for his brand on this show.
Oh, yeah.
I think that more people, and I think it's almost universal, people love what they've seen from Kirk, and they're all saying, I didn't necessarily love Kirk going in, and now I have more respect for him. I'm seeing a lot of that. I think he's a big winner in this, in how people perceive him.
Yeah, and this is what I say. If we were to give out, like, Emmys, Patrick Mahomes would be up for an Emmy for the leading actor role. Kirk Cousins would be up for supporting actor role, the best performance by a supporting actor in a show. And Marcus Mariota would not be up for anything. I think he would just be up there for the team award for best movie. Like, he would just get to go on stage because he was in it. But he wouldn't be up for anything. I have a question. I have a question. Comeback player. I don't know. Yeah. What you got?
Okay. So you're as a player, would you rather have your quarterback take the leadership approach of Cousins, who kind of just goes about his own job, doesn't say much on the sideline, or have your quarterback be Mahomes, who's very loud, very vocal, very energized? Which would you rather have as a teammate?
Honestly, I do like a talkative quarterback. And the reason why, and both got it done. Both got, they both got big time wins out of their teammates. I do like the vocal, like, because then you know where your quarterback's at. Like, you don't really ever know where Kirk's at mentally because he is so compartmentalized and he does keep so much in. And he like Kevin O'Connell said, he works it out on his own. Patrick Mahomes, you can tell when he's pissed off. You can tell when he's down. Also, like he is an energy. Like he's a little bit of an energy. The other thing I'll say too, man, like something that I got motivated, like, Patrick Mahomes' workout, his ABC workout, like, I don't know if I can recreate it.
Yeah.
But I want to try it because that looked awesome. Like those movements and because I love what his trainer said too. Like, I'm going to make your muscles and your body move and do stuff at speed. Like you're turning and throwing, you're stepping in. Like, that's why he's able to make some of those throws like this, because that machine, if you notice, he's like rotating his entire body. Like, it's ridiculous. And for those watching on YouTube or Spotify, or not Spotify, but Amazon Fire or Roku, you could see the movements I'm doing. If you don't understand it, it's like this machine where it's like an overemphasized, like those cable machines people use at like the gym, and they do it nice and controlled. His, you could like yank and do. Like, I'm not going to go to the gym and do that because I would look stupid doing that at the gym. Like, you got to be in a controlled space. But I might go out to TCO because I know the training house, and I might try to do some of that stuff. But like my daughter, even today, she's been doing softball all like winter and spring and summer. Today, she's getting a chance to do a volleyball camp all week, and then she's going to go back to softball next week. I'm excited about that after watching Patrick Mahomes, because I'm like, sometimes you got to put your body through different movements that aren't a part of your sport. Because when you train for your sport and train for your sport, you can do your sport. But then what happens when you have to do a different movement that's not technically your sport?
Yeah.
That's what I liked about Patrick Mahomes, is he was able to, like, because we talk about like, oh my God, I can't believe he can make that arm slot and he can make that throw. Dude is working it. Like, I can't believe he can run like that. He can move, he can do this, and he can run and throw and turn and throw it this way. Because he's running around a freaking facility like a madman, just doing stuff where I guarantee a lot of quarterbacks aren't doing that. So I got a lot out of it. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to it. Peyton Manning. There's no way Peyton Manning doesn't do it again. Like, there's no way. So I'm looking forward to see what 3 quarterbacks signed up for this year. They gave him for Netflix too. And I'm guessing because it's Peyton Manning. Like, if Netflix had just came to the NFL, they'd be like, get out my face. But the fact that it was Peyton Manning, they gave him a ton of access, a ton of like actual film to use, because you're not supposed to, like, you have to have a license to do that. Where if you notice a lot of Netflix specials, they don't have actual game footage or even like team logos are used. Like, they're allowed to say professional football player, but they can't say who he plays for. They can't say, like, especially if that team's trademarked, like they can't wear the gear. Like, sometimes you'll see players have to tape the logo because they're not allowed to have it on the show. Like, you can't have your team logo on there. Like, there's a lot of that. So it was fun to see, but I'm looking forward to seeing what Peyton Manning has. But you're right, Sam, too. I think Kirk Cousins gained a lot of fans from that. And again, you don't know what you have till it's gone. This might be the situation for the Vikings. If they don't re-sign Kirk Cousins and he goes and they don't get a good draft pick or a big time free agent pickup or a trade that people can be excited about, it'd be interesting to see what ends up happening. Because, I mean, honestly, like, I even think about Marcus Mariota. Like, could Marcus Mariota come in and lead the Minnesota Vikings if he had to do it for a year or two until they can get a quarterback in there? Like, like, I'm thinking about all the backups that maybe want to like give it one more go. Like, I don't feel like there's a lot out there that would be better. I mean, cheaper, but better than Kirk Cousins. Like, but maybe Marcus Mariota. And there's the thing too, man. Like, I'm Marcus Mariota, and maybe I'm just because he's a Netflix guy now. He might learn a lot from the Eagles, and then maybe the Vikings can't pick him up. And he is a running quarterback. So he gives the Vikings something that Kirk doesn't, which is run the ball fast and effective. I mean, that's why Arthur Smith wanted him for the Falcons, because he used him with the Titans, and he liked how they ran the ball with the Titans. But then Tannehill came in and took his spot. Like, so that's some of the stuff I learned. Like, there's a lot to figure out. But if Kirk Cousins goes, Vikings fans, I don't think they know what they really have in Kirk. And it was fun. It was fun to see that side of Kirk, and even the psychologists, like, This is the first year you use it. So we always talked about like it might not have been just the Kevin O'Connell, Zimmer. It might have been the psychologist, like having somebody to talk to and unload your issues. Maybe that helped Kirk Cousins loosen up and say, hey, look, man, just go have fun. Because even after the game, I like the one where they won. I think it was the Colts game, and the Dr. Bronwell said, or Brownell said, enjoy this. Like, it's okay to enjoy this moment, because Kirk's thinking like, well, tomorrow I got to do this and I'll be in the office and do this and I got to get in the coach up. He's like, no, enjoy this moment, man. Like, it's okay to celebrate and enjoy. You had the biggest comeback in NFL history. Enjoy these moments because that's not normal. So I like that too, that he showed the other side of the mental health and how important it is. But we got to talk about Justin Jefferson, man. Justin Jefferson, he's been in the media a lot. There's some Kirk Cousins conversation in there with Justin Jefferson, this contract with Justin Jefferson, and then Harrison Smith. Harrison Smith was Rodney Dangerfield right now. He gets no respect. So we'll talk about that next coming up. We have a word from our sponsors, though, and then we'll be back.
Yeah, let's tell you about FanDuel today. It's a new week. There's a full slate of baseball games, and you can bet baseball at FanDuel. You can get 10 times your initial bet in bonus bets. So you put in 20 for your first bet, new customers, you get 200. Whether you win or lose, it's basically that no sweat first bet. So you bet 20, you get 200, lay it down on a money line, an over-under, a home run hitter, any of the above. It's all in the safe, secure, super easy to use FanDuel Sportsbook app where you get paid instantly when you win. You can also check out FanDuel.com/lockedon to claim those $200 in bonus bets. FanDuel.com/lockedon. FanDuel is a great way to play. They're an official partner of Major League Baseball.
Well, Sam, as I said, all the people at home, if you're on Amazon Fire, Roku, if you have an Amazon Fire or Roku device, please make sure you subscribe and you download Locked On Sports Minnesota to your app. It's going to bring all of our videos, all of our shows right to your TV. It's kind of fun. And if you can, you can watch us wherever you go. If you have a Roku device that travels with you, boom, plug it into your hotel TV. Your app's going to be on there, Locked On Sports Minnesota. Wherever you are, you can see our pretty faces. But Sam, now it's time to jump into topic number 2 for the day. Justin Jefferson, man, throw it at me. What you got?
All right. Well, this was inspired by Mike Florio, who likes to put a lot of stuff out there. Mike Florio wasn't really reporting this. He was just wondering out loud if the Vikings are stalling on Justin Jefferson's contract because maybe he'd be like a massive trade piece if they have to rebuild this roster. I don't think he was saying that's going to happen, but he was kind of wondering aloud about it. And I'm curious, Ron, like, if the Vikings draw this out with Justin, is that going to upset him? If you were Justin, would you want to get this thing done now and not wait until the season? Like, what are the factors at play here if you're Justin Jefferson in your mind?
Well, it's money is at play for the Vikings, so they have to make sure they're not going to be like, they can't offer him anything that will put them over the cap. So that's first. But again, this is also the best receiver in the world, so maybe he wants 180. I just don't know if the Vikings can afford a $30 million a year deal for 6 years. I just don't see it. But again, I also don't know what their thoughts are. So if I'm Justin Jefferson, and I do know my number is 30, and I have expressed that with my agent in the Vikings, I don't know. We don't know what the Vikings are telling his agent. Like, they are having conversations like, hey, man, we're going to get this done. Because Rob Brzezinski is like, hey, we're going to get this done, man, but I got to do X, Y, and Z. So maybe that's just enough to get Justin Jefferson to come, to be happy, to do all the stuff. But yeah, I think if it becomes like, and again, I've always been taught, never count another man's pockets. You never count. So if they're like, hey, we can offer you 25, he's like, no, I want 27. $2 million doesn't seem like that should be an issue, because it is an issue for the team because they can't go over the cap. But it shouldn't be the issue for the player. Like 27 versus 25, like, give me my 25. Let's move on. Let's be happy about this. Kind of like TJ Watt did for the Steelers. I don't know if you heard that story when they were going back and forth. His agent was, and he walks in the office like, man, give me that contract. Like, my agent is like telling me he think we should wait. Like, I want to play football. Give me the contract. I'll sign it. Like, I don't know if that's where they're at, where the agent's pushing more, but I do know these conversations are happening. I just hope it doesn't spill over and create drama, because that's what you don't want. Because then once you get drama, it's like you really can't come back from it. Like it's kind of like you just got to move on if you create this drama. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think Justin Jefferson has all the leverage, though. That's the other problem. But we saw what happened with the Tennessee Titans. They traded A.J. Brown, and look at them. They just got DeAndre Hopkins, but it's taken them a while to find another franchise receiver. But I don't know. What are your thoughts? Would you be mad?
I don't know if I'd be mad, but I think I would say, why are you waiting? What have I done to give you any doubt?
Yeah.
Right? Like, because I think if they do wait till next year, Jamar Chase is going to set the market. Like, Jamar Chase will probably beat him to the punch. And if you get someone like Chase, who's Jefferson's peer and his friend, setting the market, if he signs for 31, well, then it's clearly got to be more for Jefferson. Like, whoever signs it first is going to set the mark, and then the next guy is going to go probably one step above. It's just the way these contracts work. So I feel like if you're the Vikings, it's only going to get more expensive unless you're gambling that his production goes down, or, like, God forbid he gets injured and then his value, goes down. You can save some money. That's not a great way to do business. Right. So I think I would just wrap it up, take care of it now. You can, again, he's young. You can spread this out over 5, maybe even 6 years and try to lessen that initial hit on your cap. And they've got plenty of money down the road. That cap is going to open way, the heck up once Kirk Cousins money is off the books, if indeed they don't re-sign him. So I think they can afford it. They spread that thing out. So I just don't know what the motivation is to wait unless you have some other motive. And maybe that's why Florio is kind of wondering, would that even be on the table? Would they ever be in a position to want to trade him? I hope not. I think that'd be terrible. But that's kind of until they sign it, it has to be in the back of your mind.
Yeah, it does. It does. Until he signs it, they're always going to be wondering about it. But it is what it is. But before we get into the daily 3, that's 3 questions. Spend about a minute each today. We're going to speed that thing up. But we're going to talk about Harrison Smith really quick, because ESPN had their top 10 safeties. Micah Hyde was left off the list too, though, and Jordan Poyer. So this is kind of like wait, is that right? Yeah. No, Yahoo Sports talked about it, though. But do you have the list?
Yeah, I do. This is the list. You want it?
Okay. Yep.
All right. ESPN is doing their top 10 at each position.
Yep.
Voted on by executives, coaches, and anonymous other league personnel.
Yeah.
They go Minkah Fitzpatrick, Derwin James, Justin Simmons, Budda Baker, Javon Holland, Jesse Bates III, Kevin Byard, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Talanoa Hufanga, and Antoine Winfield Jr.
Ooh, Tweez, my boy Tweez. So I'm looking at the list too. I was confused because it's on Yahoo, but then I'm as I read it, it makes more sense now. It says Yahoo is bringing it up too, like NFL execs front office. So that's why I was confused, because I saw the list and I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, this is Yahoo Sports. But yeah, Jordan Poyer was left off. Micah Hyde was left off, both from the Buffalo Bills. Though maybe there's some Buffalo Bills bias there. Maybe they just don't like the Bills right now. But when you look at, because this is their article is about Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde left off the list. That's all they care about. They didn't say anything about Harrison Smith. But Minkah Fitzpatrick, Derwin James, Justin Simmons, Budda Baker for sure, Javon Holland, CJ Gardner-Johnson, because he was really good with the Eagles. Talanoa Hufanga for the 49ers. I really like him. Antoine Winfield, I like him. Jesse Bates. I guess I haven't seen enough Falcons. And Kevin Byard, I feel like Tennessee Titans as well. I haven't seen enough. I would say Poyer and one of those two should be on there, Micah Hyde and Poyer, but I know there was injuries involved with those two. Like Hyde had the neck injury. But Harrison Smith, I wouldn't say insulted, Sam. After looking at this list and where he's at in his career age-wise, but I will say he should have been honorable mention. Like, he should have been mentioned in the group with Poyer and Hyde as far as being left off. Do you have the honorable mention list?
Yeah. He didn't even make that, or he didn't make the receiving votes. Like, nobody voted for him. So the honorable mentions are Marcus Williams, Quandre Diggs, Kyle Duggar, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Xavier McKinney, Jalen Petrie, and then receiving votes, Tyrann Mathieu, Eddie Jackson, Jeremy Chin, Jaron Curse got votes, and Harrison Smith did not, and Justin Reed.
Wow. Okay, yeah, now you should be insulted. That's absolutely, oh my goodness, that's egregious. That is assault. That is a felony. And that's, if you have priors, you should go to jail for 3 years. Like, to vote, I love Jaron Curse, and you guys know that. I've said that from when he was with the Vikings. I wish they had found a way to use him more as a big nickel because he did well with the Cowboys. But to put Jaron Curse and give him a vote, now again, that exec could have been a Cowboys exec, and not give Harrison Smith a vote. Oh my goodness, erroneous on all counts. Like, what are you doing? Like, man, where is Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn when you need them? Because I need lawyers. Because that is erroneous. Like, I need this stricken from the record. Can I treat this witness like a hostile witness, Your Honor? Because whoever made that vote and picked Jaron Curse over Harrison Smith, you have lost your mind. You have lost oh my goodness, you've lost your mind. See, that's where I knew you were going to get me somehow, Sam. Because when I first saw the list, I was like, nah, we're going to play this cool. Jaron Curse got a vote over Harrison Smith. Like, Jaron Curse is really good. I think he's a great up-and-coming. Like I said, I think he's one of the strongest, biggest. Like, he's going to be able to, if they unlock him, I think he can cover tight ends well. I think he can hit his butt off. Like, I think he's really good. But Harrison Smith not getting a vote? What are we doing, people? What are we doing? But I don't know. We got to get out of here. So let's do this quick. We got the daily 3. That's 3 questions, 3 minutes each. But don't forget, people, SiriusXM, the Twins, you can catch every pitch of the Twins hometown broadcast by going to SiriusXM on the SXM app. Seattle Mariners tonight, 8:40 p.m. It's on the app. Just search Twins. This is going to be the Twins' chance to show us they are not as bad as we think they are. Like, I don't feel like the Mariners owner, coach, general manager should be able to get up on the podium and say, they were who we thought they were. Like, you can't do that because the Twins are not who you thought they were. You might be up on them, and then the Twins are going to come back. Bats are going to come alive. They're going to win the game, and you cannot say, we had them. They were who we thought they were. You cannot say that about this Twins, but, hey, there's no way to find out if you don't go on the SiriusXM app. Just jump on the app, SXM app. Just search in the app market, whatever device you have, and you can search Twins and get it. But you know what? It's time for the daily 3. It's 3 questions. We're going to spend about a minute each today. Sam, take it away.
I liked that Denny Green impression. That was good. That was really strong.
Rest in peace, Denny.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Vikings question to kick us off. What do you think is their deepest position group heading into training camp?
Heading into training camp, the Vikings' deepest position group, to me, I don't know if they have one, honestly. Like, I don't feel like any group has, like, if I'm going to pick one, like, because I can't say offensive line because we don't know about Ed Ingram. Receiver, we really only have Justin Jefferson. We don't know what KJ Osborne and Jordan Addison are really going to do. DB, you got Harrison Smith, I guess, Cam Bynum. You got Evans. Linebacker, we don't know. DN, we're not sure. Linebacker, I really don't know, Sam. I don't know. Like, I don't know if they have. If I have to pick, like if there's a gun in my head, I got to pick. I'm going to go with receiver, but the only reason is because you only need 3. And so I think those 3 can get it done. And then you do have Jalen Reagor. You do have some other guys. So I'd say that's going to be the one that has the most battles, I guess, we're going to watch is that receiver. I don't know. What would you say?
I would say safety.
Okay.
You've got the top 10 safety, Harrison Smith. Cam Bynum is solid. Josh Metellus is the X factor. He's going to do some stuff. And then you got a first-round pick in Scene waiting in the wings. That's a pretty good
you got the other draft pick, too, from LSU.
Yeah, Jay. Why can't I think of his name? Jay. What is it? Jay.
It's not Blanton.
It's not Robert Blanton, but go check out the show. Jay Ward, yeah. So, yeah. So you do have that. That is safety. I could see that one. I was gonna say DB because I forgot they drafted a corner too, right? From USC. Mekhi Blackman.
Yep. Yeah. So DB, maybe you could say DB because Mekhi Blackman might be really good. You do have Andrew Booth Jr. So there's some out there. But yeah, I don't feel like any group is just deep. Like we've had some deep years in the past, but I don't feel like any group is just deep. But again, this might be a rebuilding time. What you got next?
Yeah, next up, DeAndre Hopkins signs with Tennessee. Pretty generous 2-year contract. What do you think of the fit with D-Hop and the Titans?
I think the Titans are just trying to recreate what they had with A.J. Brown. So I think it can work. He is a one-on-one guy. A.J. Brown got a ton of one-on-one with the Titans. A.J. Brown's is good, though. He went to the Eagles and still dominated. But I think DeAndre Hopkins in that offense, it's gonna come down to, though, Arthur Smith is gone. As we forget, Arthur Smith was the reason Tennessee's offense was killing it. He's gone to the Falcons now. And so it's going to come down to what they can get out of this offense. Derrick Henry is going to require 8 in the box. I like the fit with DeAndre Hopkins because he's not going to have a ton of, like, if you do keep 2 or 3 high, you don't have enough in the box to stop Derrick Henry. And then if you bring some people down in the box, 1-on-1, even 2-on-1 with DeAndre Hopkins, I'm going to take Hopkins. So I think it is a good fit. They're going to, like I said, they're going to try to get out of him what they were doing with A.J. Brown, which is a lot of play action, 1-on-1 type stuff. So it could be good. What's the last one?
Last one, Steph Curry. This is a fun one. Steph Curry in the American Century Championship in Lake Tahoe. He won the celebrity golf tournament over the weekend, and there's a lot of good golfers in that field. Steph Curry won it. He had a hole-in-one on Saturday and an eagle on Sunday to win it on the 18th green. Ron, what did you make of Curry's walk-off eagle, and have you ever had a hole-in-one or an eagle playing golf in your life? Because Steph Curry did both of those in the tournament.
It was electric. I will say that. Like, I watch a lot of it anyway, though, because I used to watch it because I used to like to see, like, the conversations. Like, people would always be like, man, why is Adam Thielen talking to Aaron Rodgers so long? Is he going to be a Packer? Is Aaron Rodgers coming to the Vikings? Like, is he recruiting them? So now it's fun to see it too from the other side, because Aaron Rodgers and Adam Thielen still were hanging out. I forgot who else was in the picture with them, and I saw some video because I follow Caitlin Thielen as well. So she was videoing her husband walking up and down and playing. So I got to see a lot of that behind the scenes stuff too. It was fun to see Steph Curry, and Adam Thielen over there as well. But no, I've never had an eagle. I've never had a walk-off. I've had birdies. I've been close to a hole-in-one. I'm sorry, I've never had a hole-in-one either. I've been close to a hole-in-one. I've been close to an eagle, where I had like a tap-in birdie on a par 5. Because that's the thing. I hit the ball long with my first shot, but I'm just not great at, like, aim of my second shot. So I've had it where I've, like, gotten on in 2 on a par 5, and then my eagle putt I miss because it's far. It's like not close. And then I'm close, and then I make a tap in. So I've had some close eagle opportunities, but never, like, almost in a scramble, almost had my own eagle because it was my drive, my second shot. And then I didn't make the putt, but a guy on my team made the putt for eagle. So again, I was kind of like, kind of an eagle for me, but no, yeah, I was one putt away from. So no, I've never had an eagle or hole-in-one, but I've been close. What about you? Do you golf?
I do golf. I've, like you, been close on the hole-in-one, and I've hit the pin on a second shot on a par 4, which kicked off. Would have been an eagle, but no, I've yet to accomplish that. I think that someday the eagle will come. Hole-in-one is that's just a crapshoot. I mean, you got to play so many rounds and give yourself so many opportunities to get the hole-in-one, and it might never happen for some. Some people in the PGA probably don't have one. So correct. I'm not holding my breath on that one.
Well, Sam, it was a good show today, man. Appreciate everything you do. And remember, people, if you want endless Vikings talk, make sure you subscribe to Locked On Sports Minnesota on YouTube. All you need is an email address. Just go to YouTube, put your email address in, and then hit that follow or subscribe button for Locked On Sports Minnesota. You get all of our videos, all of our shows. Also, Amazon Fire and Roku, iHeartMedia, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, please subscribe. And don't forget the SXM app. If you go to SiriusXM app, you can search Locked On Sports Minnesota. I did it. It's very simple. And then you have the shows on your phone as well. But I'm Ron Johnson. That's Sam Ekstrom. We want to thank you guys for continuing to join us. Like, subscribe, comment, social media. Follow us, 3 Ron Johnson on Twitter and Instagram. I communicate and I interact with all the everyday listeners. So feel free to comment on whatever video, and I'm probably going to see it and have a comment back to you. Feel free to tag me as well in your comment. But again, I'm Ron Johnson. That's Sam Ekstrom. It's the Ron Johnson Show on Locked On Sports Minnesota. We'll see you guys tomorrow.